I think one waiting is just us. It's not even
Yeah.
it's not even two. So we're streaming now.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Yeah, we're streaming now. Welcome, 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 if anybody's watching. So we'll probably wait for some people to come into the chat. Let us know if you can hear us all right. So talk, Remy, and say hello.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
So can you hear? Let us know if you can hear Remy and if you can hear me okay. And yeah, I guess we can just introduce ourselves. So I'm Ash, Eat Plants. You're here probably because you're subscribed to my channel, and this is hang on, which way? This is Remy. Remy, introduce yourself, like what kind of cycling do you do and all that sort of stuff.
What's up, everybody? Sean Remy, hashtag carb doping on YouTube. I've been cycling now for 10 years, and I've been riding a road bike and racing road bikes for almost 4 years now. And Cat 2 cyclist, Cat 5 on the track, still a beginner.
Yeah, Cat 2 is strong. Like, I don't know what cat I am.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, category is your racing experience. You could be a Cat 5 and smash it with the Cat 1s and the Cat 2s.
How do you think?
You could be stronger than some of them.
Oh, really?
But you got to have the experience to be able to race and the race smarts to actually like compete with those guys at that level.
That's interesting. I've not thought about that actually. I've always thought about categories in racing as the kind of wattage that you could hold, like how your fitness basically. And I'm sure fitness is a big part of it, but you don't think so, or like?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, it's a big part of it, but I mean, dude, there's guys that are Cat 5s that are so strong, but they don't know how to utilize that power, or they don't know when to use it. When I was a Cat 5, I could ride with the strongest dudes.
Yeah.
I never got dropped. As a Cat 5, I never got dropped. I mean, I also rode 11,000 miles that year, and I just rode all the time. I rode 6-7 days a week, always, and I always went as hard as I could, so therefore any, like, effort I did with dudes, I would never get dropped. And this is all on flats. Like, I didn't climb a lot,
yeah,
but I could put out outstanding amounts of power. My engine was just endless. I mean, I can do 5-6 hour ride, damn near full gas.
Yeah.
On flats without even gassing out.
Yeah.
Because I just did it so consistently.
Yeah.
But
so we've got
power meter back then.
We've got Elsa and Kuba in the chat, so they've just joined us. Kuba says,
nice.
Mate, you think too much about wattage. So I think too much about wattage. I bet people, like, Kuba, do you have a power meter? So I think about wattage too much, probably because I'm focused. So I'm pinpoint focused on my goals. And so with the power meter, I get a bit obsessed with it. So yeah, that's why I think about power too much. Because I like to compare myself to other people, and wattage is the most objective way to do that. So deal with it. Right by feet. Yeah, I know. Well, the thing is, so the discipline that I'm training. So this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what my goals are at the moment and what Remy's goals are at the moment. And my goal at the moment is short power, as in, like, you know, best power for an hour. And to train that, a power meter is like indisposable for me at the moment. With the time that I have to spend on the bike, to get the fastest results, you use a power meter and you get obsessed about wattage. And so this video in the background that I'm playing is actually me going up the longest climb in the UK, and it's about a 20-minute climb. So it's like a perfect FTP test. It has like quite a shallow gradient, but continuous. And so doing a perfect FTP test, and I'm trying to hold my best wattage up this climb to see what I could perhaps do for an hour as my FTP. And so, yeah, that's my goal at the moment, is to try and get my best power for an hour, and using a power meter is so useful. And I find I don't know what I would do without it right now. This is what I was thinking the other day. I'm like, what would I do if I didn't have this power meter, and how would I train? But that's the next thing we're going to talk about. But yeah, this is
yeah, I got a good little point on that too.
Oh, cool. We'll get to that. Yeah. So my goal at the moment is to get my best power for an hour, to try and reach 5 watts per kilo for an hour as my FTP. and at the moment I'm like about 4.8. This video in the background was almost 5 watts per kilo as an FTP. So my target, I'm trying to hold 300 and like above 330 watts for this 20+ minute climb. But yeah, so that's my goal at the moment, 5 watts per kilo, and I no longer have any mountains. And it was awesome to be able to train in mountains, whether it be in Thailand or whether it be in Yorkshire, because you have a 20-minute climb that you can just try and push your best power for. And so if I had this video in the background, this mountain, Crag Vale in Yorkshire, every single morning, I would be up it every single morning, because I know that would be the best way for me to train myself to get my best power for an hour. So my thing at the moment is that I have to find a way to try and get my best max power on climbs that are only 3 minutes long. And how do I train? How do I train to get how do I train so that day after day I go and do these repetitions up these 3-minute climbs, and then have enough training in my legs to then go and do this Yorkshire climb, this Crag Vale climb, and push out a 5 watt per kilo FTP. So at the moment, the thing that I'm getting excited about is you do 5 repetitions. You do 5 repetitions of this local 3-minute hill, and that takes about half an hour. And if I do that at my very limit, at like 360 to 400 watts, 5 times, then that seems to be that's my limit. And when I push at that, I know that I'm going to make that normal. So if I can make 5 times of this 3-minute climb normal at 360 to 400 watts, then I know that is the best training I can possibly do. And without a power meter, that would be, I don't know, I think it would be difficult. It would be a lot more difficult, I think. But that's what I'm trying to do at the moment. What I want to do actually is I want to get the KOM for this. So this local climb that I've got, this 3-minute climb, is probably London's most popular climb. And anybody who's any good on the bike does 5 repetitions of this climb, and the KOM is something like around 20 minutes. And so my goal, I know I'll be ready to go back and do some proper mountains and do a proper FTP test when I get this KOM. So that is the next goal. I'm going to make a video series about how I'm going to train to get this KOM. So that's me at the moment. What's your goals, Remy? What are you training for? What have you got on the horizon in cycling?
Well, I think that for training right now, since I was in Thailand, I got tons of base miles with like decent intensity as far as like endurance engine. Like my stamina is phenomenal right now. I can go for days. But when I got home, it was like, hey, I want to up the intensity. I want to be able to go and race, and I want to be able to attack off the front of a race that's pretty much as fast as it gets. I did a 70-minute race on the 4th of July that was 28.5 mile an hour average for 70 minutes.
Wow.
And I remember trying to go off the front and not really having much, and I pretty much just pulled the pack, and they were behind me. I barely got like maybe 3 bike lanes out, and they were just behind me. But I didn't realize how fast we were actually going. I just thought it was hard, but everybody thought it was hard. So I do have fitness, but what I've been working on is trying to do 2 or 3 race rides a week. And it's just really good workouts. So it's like hour and a half to 2-hour workouts, but with like good intensity. Like it's like a race simulator race. And then on Wednesday, I said I've done that the last 2 weeks now. I average about 9 hours only for the week, but I brought up the intensity because I don't need base. But on Wednesday, I rode 30 miles, did a 30-mile race ride in under an hour, 20 minutes with 2,000 feet of climbing, which was really fast, and then smashed home and ended up doing 100 miles with a race ride in the middle of it and cracking 87 miles in just because my legs were like, this is your 4th day straight of riding. So in 4 days, it was only maybe like 230 miles, but I probably did it in like 11 hours of riding. Yeah. So it was so fast. Like every ride was just extremely fast, like 22 average, 21 average. So I just needed to calm down and like chill out. You know, that was my body telling me like, hey, take a break. But as far as goals, like riding and getting comfortable on the bike. Yeah, but you're pushing at your limit. You're pushing at your stamina limit. You know you've got good stamina, so it's something that you feel like you want to exercise. You know, you want to push it.
So
Yeah.
that was it. That was pushing it.
Totally, I was pushing it for sure. Really quick before I go back into the next thing, I was going to say this Porum B07 says, is Strava really worth the money, or should I get a bike computer? I mean, I have Strava Premium just because I tried it for free once for a year, and I was like, cool, it's awesome. I like having all the I like putting the goals in on my Strava. But you don't need Strava Premium.
Don't get yeah, okay. Get so I don't know if you've got that, Remy, but Stravistics. So get Strava normal, like just the base Strava for free, and then go to use it in the Chrome browser and get a Chrome plugin called Stravistics, and that'll give you everything that the Premium does. But
so I don't have to renew my membership at the end of the year?
Yeah.
Okay. So my friend Jerome, you guys, if you guys are familiar with my channel, if not, I have videos on Jerome. He's a plant-based athlete from the Netherlands, and he's been vegan since he was 16. He's 31. The dude was 250 pounds overweight, vegan, eating cookies all day, and started cycling a few years ago. And he's dropped down to about 180 pounds right now. And the dude right now can hold 400 watts for 1 hour. And he trains himself on Strava Premium. Like, he trains himself with his own workouts and goes off of it. He has never had a coach. He just started riding 2 years ago and realized he loved it, and then started riding and losing weight. And the dude, he did a road race, an 80-mile road race in Chico at a stage race. The dude went off the front at the very beginning of the race, and he averaged 379 watts for 3.5 hours.
How much does he weigh? How much does he weigh?
He weighs 180 pounds right now, so he's about like 80-something kilometers.
Yeah, 80-something kilograms, yeah.
Kilograms, sorry, not kilometers. But
so this
the dude, he's 6'5.5", by the way, too. He's way taller than me. I'm 6'2.5", 75.
That's tall, yeah. This is funny. So just on the video, there's a bus doing a 3-point turn in front of me in the middle of my TT, and it just moves out of the way as I go past. It's so funny. I was like looking at the bus driver like with rage. But so it would be interesting to see what, as I'm so obsessed with what's your FTP, like it would just be interesting to see if he could retain that kind of power and be like 70 kilograms. That would be interesting to see.
So he just did like a gravel ride with Kinetic Cycles over the weekend, and he said he averaged 3 minutes. He averaged 600 watts.
Yeah,
That sounds fucking insane. Sorry for the F word, but
that's right.
3 minutes? That's huge.
That is huge.
That's 600 watts.
Yeah.
He's like, well, that was my average. I was like, no, yeah, for 3 minutes.
But is the dude lean? Is he lean? Has he got weight to lose, or is it just because he's tall that he weighs that much?
He's 6'5.5", and he's pretty damn lean. Like, he can lose like a few more pounds, but he's got to lose it the right way. Because he told me that he literally felt that losing any more weight, he felt weaker. So that means he needs to eat more food.
Yeah, it is.
Like, he's losing weight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's nothing. It's not like a diss towards him. It's just, so he eats a lot of beans, right? And so we already talked about the whole beans video in Thailand. Like, it's not sustainable because a can of beans is only 300 calories and it's 24 grams of protein with 0 grams of fat. Like, you know how many cans of beans you got to eat to get your calories? You got to be fueled. So me having 1,000 grams of just pure sugar, like that was me on Wednesday when I did the 100-mile ride. The whole day, I didn't have anything but a ton of water and literally 36 ounces of sugar. Over 1,000 grams of sugar.
That's insane.
And then I got home and smashed in a cup of rice, a can of beans, 5 tacos. It got to the point where it's like, dude, it doesn't matter if I have vegan sour cream because I'm getting so lean. Like, I don't have to worry about those little, like vegan beef or the vegan sour cream making me fat because it's minute compared to what I'm doing.
You don't worry about that at all. You like with the I need to eat more beans because they contain so much iron. I want to try and up my iron intake because that is going to be vital.
But look at your rice though too. If you're eating more than a cup and a half of rice a day, that's already 60% of your iron.
I'm so glad I've got the walking chronometer here to let me know. like what I'm
Dude.
actually eating. That's so true. I'd like because I was looking at beans at how much iron they contain, and like yeah, so rice as well.
Oh,
That's
they're
all right
full
then.
of iron, bro. Just
That's all right.
so let me ask you this, really quick. I know we're getting off subject a little bit, but how much rice do you eat a day? Like how many cups?
I don't know how many cups it is, but it's like probably 3 cups, maybe something like that.
Three cups of rice total, like uncooked.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so
Is that a lot?
3 cups uncooked is a lot, bro.
Is it?
That's 2,000. I'm actually getting into Chronometer right now just to make sure, but it's 2,045 calories guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see. So 3 cups, bro. Sorry, 25, not 45. That's 40 grams of protein right there.
Is
436 grams of carbs and 4 grams of fat only.
Really? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but we're gonna go into what you're getting. That's 300% of your iron, bro.
Okay. It's good to know. That's good
300%
to
of
know.
your folate, 19% of your fiber. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's crazy. So these guys are posting a bunch of comments. So let's see really quick because they're like talking about stuff. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even see all these. Let's see. So 12 stone, old money. No. Kudos for the bus. He said, Luis. You channeled the urgency. Somebody was mentioning. Let's see. Behind me, car full natty. Zach said his local TT is hilly and has quite a few turns. He was doing 26 on flat, and suddenly there's a tractor in the middle of the road. They're kind of talking with each other. A cup of leek is 160 grams.
Also, can you let us know if the sound is all right? If you can hear us. Sorry if the broadcast gets choppy. That'll just be intermittent.
Luis got his orange hat yesterday.
He said he's got a big head.
Yeah.
I think they should all be one size, but I think some of them might be bigger than others. But
so B12 shots, I didn't get any side effects. I didn't even know if I felt the difference. I still have the B12 shots. I just need to get some needles, and I was just gonna go through it. I have like a box and a half to myself still. I noticed. Did you fill up your whole syringe with B12 and then just shoot it instead of doing
1
like
milligram.
1 little capsule?
1 milligram, yeah, in just my leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I might do that next time.
So
maybe I'll feel the difference because I only did like 1 shot in each leg.
Yeah, 1 milliliter. And I don't know. I feel good, and my wattage is going up, or yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
But,
I tell you this, I am getting the intensity, so now I'm like well-rounded, and I just feel strong on the bike, and I'm just gonna keep doing the race rides and fucking digging. Like,
yeah,
and
I feel
I
super
feel like I'm
strong.
getting stronger.
Yeah, I feel super strong. Like I feel good, and I would, if I didn't feel strong, then I wouldn't be excited about trying to push my limits. I wouldn't be excited about trying to get this KOM and try and keep pushing for the hour power and stuff. So because otherwise I'd be like wondering what is happening, but I feel good. So, but maybe I would have felt good without the B12. So what I'm going to do actually, I am going to get the test done so I can find out if like now my B12 is topped up, and then look at my wattage, and then have another test down the line and see how my wattage corresponds. But anyway,
yeah, EPO. Real quick, EPO is like what is it, like $6,000 a month of an addiction? $6,000 a month for EPO.
Is it really? Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I remember Harley was talking about it like back in the day, and he said it was literally like. Somebody else actually mentioned it to me too. That races the P1 too. They said EPO. Nobody's doing that in our area but they're talking about people taking like testosterone and stuff. But they said nobody's doing EPO because it's like $6,000 a month of an addiction. So I mean, who could afford that shit? That's like racing where I'm at. Like nobody has that kind of money.
There must be some cheap Chinese stuff, though. There must
be.
Maybe. And people will do whatever it takes. People will do whatever it takes, even at that level, because it means so much to them. If it means that much to them, they'll find a way. Like.
Wow. So, yeah, Luis said that Paul got a new vegan record up the Doist Tep.
He got the
fastest.
fastest.
I guess the Strava that I'm following for Paul isn't his. Because I can't find him on Strava, but there's no workouts uploaded to the one that I am following.
Oh, maybe not then, yeah. No, it was something like 27 minutes, around 27 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy. But, yeah, I was going to say, so, yeah, we'll go on to how to train without a power meter, because how would you how would you train for a specific goal if you didn't have a power meter? Like, you know, how would you train to get your best time up Doisetep or up your best time up a mountain? How would you train to be able to do that
It's
without
good that
pounding?
you mentioned goals because we got kind of sidetracked earlier. Really quick, just with the goals thing for cycling, is I have 4 races that I decided to do for the rest of the year, as far as like road races go. Next month, I'm doing 2 races. I'm doing a criterium and a circuit race. And then in September, I'm going to do a 70-something mile road race, and the next day is a 6.5 mile circuit race loop. And so training for those initially without a power meter, going into that next question.
So I was going to say,
doing,
as Cuba says, do intervals, and like, you'd agree with that, or?
I mean, intervals, like, honestly, so the thing with training with a power meter, if you can go out and put 400 watts out, great. But let me just tell you this: when you're doing a race, you're not looking at your power meter.
Yeah.
You're looking at your power meter. You're on the pavement because you're probably not paying attention to the dude in front of you. So I'm not saying that you can't race, but I know I have seen a number, not a lot, but a number of dudes that are super strong. And this is like kind of honestly, like, this is a great example for me also. Right before I started racing, oh, Remy, you should start racing, dude. You're smashing all the dudes on your track bike, on road bikes on the river ride. Like, you're super strong. And then when I didn't win my first race, everybody was harassing me. Oh, why didn't you win? You should have won. Because racing's not being about the strongest dude. You have to know what to do. And so therefore, like, let's just say you can go out and hold 600 watts for an hour. You're going to get into a race. You lose a Cat 5 race. Unless you go out and you just hold 600 watts, and maybe luckily you might hold off the group. But holding 600 watts, like, you got to think you have that one match that you have against like 30 dudes in a race.
Yeah.
So they're all going to be taking turns, and eventually you're going to wear down.
Yes.
But,
no matter what wattage you're holding.
So having power is a good thing for, like, you want to do Doisetep. You're like, okay, I got to hold 395 watts for 30 minutes if I want to do a 30-minute. You know, I might have to hold 430 watts to make it up in sub 35. Who knows? But I would train for that like that. But for racing, I'm doing I already have my base, you know, and I'm doing long rides here and there and throwing some race rides in the long rides, but doing the river rides. Because I can go out on the river ride and go as hard as I can off the front. And then when they catch me, I have to literally get back into the rotation of the front and recover while I'm rotating, taking turns. And getting used to being in that race, because the river rides are almost as fast, if not faster, than the races that we're doing. Yeah.
But
so it's like, really good practice if you utilize it that way.
Yeah. Training without power meter races, I think that's awesome. But to be honest, aren't they like intervals? Like that basically intensity.
It's like intervals, but real time intervals.
Yeah.
You're not doing it on a textbook. You're doing it in real life.
So I guess the thing in my mind is. It's the common denominator is intensity, is the way to train to make yourself better, to get, you know, to push at your limits. You want to train with intensity so you can get fitter. But for me, the power meter allows me to, like, not only measure if I'm getting fitter, but at the time it allows me to sort of pace myself, you know. So how would you pace yourself? Do you just go on feel? Is that?
I just go on feel, because, like, the one thing that I noticed, and I see that there are questions out there, guys, so I'm gonna try and, like, help answer a few of those and have Ash answer a few, because I can, like, answer a couple of them just from experience of racing and stuff. But I go by feel, just because, like, don't get me wrong, I think training with a coach is great for almost everybody. For me, I didn't really find it, like, super good. Like, there were days when it was good, but there were some days when I couldn't hold, like, the wattage, and I'd be depressed or whatever. But by feel, you're just going out and you're going as hard as you can, and you're pushing yourself beyond the limit. But when you're going on a power meter, it's like sometimes you're holding yourself back.
Yes, I was gonna say, yeah, totally, yeah.
So
it
therefore,
can
like,
be a
you're
mind
holding
blocker.
yourself back, or you can't hit the watts. And so therefore, you just, like, it turns your brain. You have that switch to where you're like, oh, I can't do it now. All of a sudden, you can't do something.
Yeah.
But when you go by feel, you're just going, like, and then you're changing the gears on feel.
Yeah.
You're not changing it on power, and then you're worrying about a cadence meter and a heart rate, and
yeah. So that's
why
one thing. I've stopped training with heart rate. I've stopped training with heart rate because I looked at it and it would worry me too much when it was going over my limit, and it would stop me from relaxing. So I find with data, power meter, stuff like that is really good for measuring, but maybe in the moment it's not so good. Maybe going on feel is better as long as you're doing something with intensity, because you want to be doing something with intensity. Like when you're in the moment doing the actual interval on that hill, you want to be relaxing. That's the biggest thing I think you want to be concentrating on. As long as you're pushing at your limit, then I think that's probably the way I would train without a power meter.
Totally. And also I mentioned the Cuba in the comments earlier. I said I had a good point, is when I also trained with the coach on power, I found that whenever my cadence was in between 90 and 110, because I had a comfortable cadence of about 110, my power was always there.
That's it.
So for everybody watching, they cannot afford a power meter like myself. I do not have power. I don't have heart rate. I don't have cadence. I have nothing. I ride all on feel, and I try to go off my cadence by feel. Whenever my cadence was in between 90 and let's just say 100, not even 110, the power came naturally. So if you guys can afford a cadence sensor for like 30, 40 bucks, go out, push 90 and 100, in between 90 and 100 cadence, and then just like eventually you're going to go faster and longer in between that cadence and be able to hold the power.
Yeah, I think cadence sensor is the best data upgrade you could possibly do. Probably, if you can't afford a power meter. Yeah. So I was going to say, before we get on to the next thing, which is our fantasy Tour de France, the video in the background playing now is an insane 40. It goes up to 40% this hill that I'm going up. It's an insane hill in Yorkshire. I think it's like a 15-minute climb, and I just went as hard as I possibly could. But look at just what in the right-hand corner. Just look at the percentages and enjoy, because I didn't. Well, I did at the time. It was good. But the next thing we're going to talk about was our fantasy Tour de France, because Remy, you haven't really, you've not been able to keep up with the Tour de France, have you?
No, I haven't watched any of the Tour de France. Like literally, I think I watched I think I watched like stage 1 or 2. Like, I think I watched the video where it showed that young kid like win and Chris Froome dropped off, and it was basically because you posted the video.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so like I haven't been watching very much. I think like also they don't have very many videos, right, of like the wins and stuff. Is that going to come later or what?
They do on the on ASO's Tour de France website, because that's why they're taking everyone else's video down, because they have videos up, but they're really boring. They've got this really boring commentator on there who just makes even the most exciting of stages sound like dull. So. But
no tour.
Yeah. So is it popular in America? Like, do people know?
Oh my god, dude! Everybody like at the river rides. Hey, you guys watch the tour today? And
oh really?
Like,
okay, cool.
And they're like, I thought you cycled, and I was like, I do cycle. That's why I'm not watching the tour, because I'm using my free time to fucking ride my bike. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like,
yeah.
I just like haven't really gotten to sit down. I feel bad because like it's like I have all you guys. I want to watch your videos, and I haven't made time to get on my computer and watch videos. It's like when I'm on the computer, it's like, oh shit, I got to pump out my videos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So do you watch like 10 videos in the morning, or do you put out a video? Like.
Yeah. No.
Really
exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So the thing that I was thinking is that I there's so many things in pro cycling that just I don't know. I feel like they hold it back. I feel like there's things that could change. I feel like it needs updating. And I was wondering, what things, is there anything that you think would make cycling more exciting, at the pro level, like so that more people would watch it, so that it's maybe a better spectator sport? I don't know, like, for me, so to start off, my main thing is that I think you should make doping maybe mandatory, mandatory doping, so that everybody it's a level superhuman playing field. So that like we can just see the freak show that everyone wants, and it's more honest. I basically want it to be more honest, and when it's an open thing. And in fact, the only thing I would check for is motorized doping, because otherwise we might as well just be riding motorbikes. up Mont
E-bike
Ventoux.
Tour de France.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So I think but you can check for that so easy. It's way easier than doping. But
Yeah.
I think they should make it open. I think they should allow everybody to just dope, and it'd be interesting to see what happens when you tweak a hormone here and add a blood bag there and see what happens. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting because yeah.
Speaking of the Open, so when you're talking fantasy Tour de France, when you first said that, I thought it would be cool to see like Lance back in the Tour, like able to like when you're talking about the whole doping thing, and like getting like a dream team of like doping winners together to like try and like knock it out. But my ultimate tour, the fantasy Tour de France, would be literally giving all of like the national champs on my level, like all the dudes that are like national and like road race champions, a chance to go and race the Tour de France on dope and see how well they actually do, just to see how well EPO does.
I like that,
like,
man.
Let's just say, like, I mean, even like, I mean, dude, like, so therefore, like, I YouTube, right? So imagine if I got 1 year to go on YouTube and document me taking EPO and being in the Tour de France.
Yes.
Just to show people that, like, you have to have more than EPO to win Tour de France, just so that people will, like, I get it. Doping is wrong, and I'm not saying it's okay, but the reality is everyone in the Tour de France is fucking doping that's getting results.
In some way,
so therefore, like, they should just get off Lance's fucking back. Yeah, he lied, because obviously if you admit to doping, there goes your fucking $10 million Nike contract.
Yeah.
So I just want people to know, like, hey, look at me. Like, yeah, I'm in my 30s, but this is me on EPO in the Tour de France, training for a year to ride Tour de France, or even doing a smaller race and showing you that you need more than EPO to win.
Yeah, that's
like my fitness will go way up. I can go crush it.
I want to see that series. I want to see that series. That's this is the thing. An idea like that, the ASO, the people who organise the Tour de France, would just laugh in your face. But people would watch that. And it'd be so much fun, and it would be awesome. It would be awesome because the thing is, it would make things honest. Like, I like that. That's wicked. I would love to see that. I'm just thinking,
I mean, dude, like,
it'd be so funny. The other thing was that I was thinking of is the team names, that they should get rid of corporate sponsors as the team names because they're just like a mouthful. They're confusing, and nobody cares about ethics quick step. Like one half of your team name is a brand that you don't like, and the other one you've never heard of. And it just seems a bit silly, you know. It seems like in America, I want a cycling team name like they do in basketball or they do in American football and stuff like that. I want the word shark. I want the word shark in there, or like a rhino or something. I want something to be able to get behind. Rather than the team name change from year to year. It just seems... It's another thing that will mean that people who are coming new to cycling don't know what's going on because it's confusing.
Totally.
And what you want to do is get more people into cycling and having weird corporate team names where, it's weird. It just seems so weird when you're coming new to the sport. But,
like when you're doing like the World Championship road race and you have like Peter Sagan races for Slovakia, so it's just like a Slovakian jersey.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really in fact countries. I didn't think of that. Yeah, having countries. That. Yeah,
like
that
what they did, like the World Road Race Champion ship, the U.S. one for like U.S. Nats, and they just had like the states, like dudes race from California, dudes race from like Kentucky, and they just had state jerseys.
Yeah. State champion. That's really cool. Basically, as long as the name doesn't change every season, that's just weird. It's just weird. I said in this video, like, humans are tribal and they want someone to support, and having your team name change, you don't know what. Then it's kind of like, is cycling more of an individual sport? Then why do you have teams if you're just going to have changeable team names? But so speaking of Lance Armstrong, his podcast, I love Lance Armstrong. Like, he's such a badass. He's like his We Do podcast. If you haven't listened to that, go and listen to that as well. But he was saying that people shouldn't wear helmets or like glasses and all that sort of stuff. Or they should be able to wear what they want on uphill stages where there's very little descending. Because in the 90s, the personality was able to shine through, and you could tell one person from another. Whereas now, it just feels like a lot of face furniture, and it's difficult to distinguish between the riders, and you can't get to know them. And so it's another reason why people, when they come new to the sport, they find it hard to get into because they can't see who is who. So I thought that was interesting. But really, it's just the wider point of trying to make it more relatable, making cycling relatable, making it less confusing, making it more exciting, which I think there's so many things that they could do that they're not doing because they're so stuck in their ways at the moment. This ASO company, that I would like. Yeah, I want to know what is the next thing that would take over. What is the Bitcoin of money? I don't get it. Yeah.
Well, on the whole Lance doping thing, I mean, the most legal way of doping is right here. 325 grams of sugar in this little 28 ounce of water.
Nice. In
12
fact,
ounces of sugar.
I'm going to go and have another cup of rice, and we will leave it there for today. This live stream was a bit of a test, really, just to see if it was possible for me and Remy to both get online and do a live stream together. And so
a weekly live stream.
What's that?
A weekly show.
Yeah.
Elsa said we need a team name, and so that's perfect because I think that maybe we should just like tell everybody that we're planning on doing a weekly show.
Yeah.
Together, talking about cycling or whatever topics or
answering questions.
We'll also have viewer topics also for the following week.
So we're going to try and do it weekly. So this was the first test just to see if it was possible, and just let us know. Let us know where we can improve it, and if anything we should do next time, and your questions as well that we can answer next time. So thanks very much, Remy, and enjoy your sugar water.
Thanks, bro.
See ya. Thanks for watching.
Have a good night.